So basically, what I'm going to do today is I am going to take the STL from my. It came. This came printed with my frame that I bought recently, the Parat Shorty, and this is the STL file that it originally came with. And this is for the rear of the quad, and as you can see, it's got one hole to hold the standoff on the back. It's got this hole, which I'm not entirely sure why this hole is here, but I totally just stuck my ELRS antenna through it. And then it's got this one antenna holder, which does not put your antenna very high up. I'm going to be adding a second one because I use walk snail, and walk snail the best to get the best range and penetration. You need the two antenna option, and this one only has the one. Now, this one is kind of crazily over designed. Like this piece up here that holds this tube, like that is way stronger than you actually need it. This kind of hole is cool because it makes it separatable so you can like easily get the antenna in. But it also, I find that really doesn't need to be there. And just to give you an idea of what frame we're talking about, I'm going to bring that up here really quick. Right. I'm pretty sure this is, I'm not sure if PDE VX, I'm not sure how you say his name. He's like one of the Rotor Riot guys. This is, I think, his frame that he helped design. And it's a little bit on the spendy side. What's weird is it uses torque screws instead of hex screws. But it's actually really nice from my experience flying it. I haven't run into any issues at all. I've crashed a couple times and there's not even like a ding on the frame. It is very durable. But you can see this is the part that we're talking about here on the back of the quad, and like the battery sits on the top. And if you're gonna have a big 6S battery, it's a toilet tank, so it sits this way. But your antenna is going to be down here, and even when you're flying up, like the battery is going to be blocking the antenna. Like there's almost no way about this. And I know the reason they do this is if you fly a lot of bandos or places with a lot of things that could snag on your antenna, then this is going to be much more durable. I don't really fly those kind of places. There's only really like one bando I found here in the Portland area that's kind of okay to fly at, and I don't really feel comfortable going there when I'm not in like a big group. So I don't really fly bandos much. I fly mostly trees and parks and stuff. So I'm going to make this with an antenna that points up higher to get over this. I'm actually just going to leave this hole there for the second antenna. So we're just adding a big one for the top. And then I think I might add like a little thing on the back to hold my ELRS in to keep it from rotating, because as it is right now, it is prone to rotating, and I don't think we need to go out very far. It looks like maybe about half as far as the tube that sticks out there now, and I think I'm just going to put like a box on the bottom and a box on the top, and then kind of just like go up a little bit so it has like a way to hold it in. But it's two flaps, so they can easily just be pulled apart and slid in. Antenna can be slid in. So I'll show that in a minute. But this is what we're going to start with, and I'm going to open this up in Blender and make some changes. The one thing I can't remember how to do is to add more vertices to a cylinder. I looked this up and I figured out how to do it last time, but I can't remember how to do it now. So let me see. Blender, more, adding vertices to cylinder. I remember it being pretty easy, but Blender does things completely backwards to how my brain works. So I always forget how to do everything. No, go away. Uh, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, so there's a box that shows up. So we delete this. We don't want that box. We want to import STL. Do not use the experimental. That does weird stuff. Just import the normal STL. I have it in downloads. This is the one we're doing. And you'll be like, oh, where'd it go? Well, it is over there, which is fun. It's over there, way off center, and the thingy's over here. So we're just going to go over to Object, Set Origin, to Geometry, which puts it over here, and then I can actually drag this around and uh, not have to try to get the origin and the geometry in the frame at the same time. Okay, bring it down a bit, over here a bit. There we go. Okay, so we've got it kind of centered here. Doesn't need to be exact, but it makes it a little bit easier if it's exact. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to add a cylinder. And easy way to do that, just go to add mesh and go down to cylinder. Okay, so this is the part that I always get confused by, because you think, oh, these are the settings for the cylinder over here. No, they're over here where you add under this box where you added them. And you go vertices, it has 32. I'm going to change that to 128 so we can get a nice, really rounded cylinder. And like 3D printer wise, I don't think this is going to cause any problems at all. We're just going to have a lot more vertices in there. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to scale this up to 3 and this to 3, 3. And that makes it nice, big, and wide, round. And then we're going to make this super long. So last time when I was trying to make this, I ended up wanting it like that, like huge. So we've got this all big. I found, I think going up to 3 is about the same size as the outside of this. But I'm going to go copy, paste. So we have a new one, move this over. And I'm just going to kind of move it over and eyeball it and see if it's right about the same right size. So this is kind of a cool thing I just learned. Shift space brings up this, so you don't have to go all the way over here to click things. And it makes it a little bit easier to, whoa. And if you hold shift while doing things, you can get like your mouse drag doesn't go very far and does that. But if you hold shift and do it, it goes way slower and you can kind of go in circles like this, which is kind of cool. Okay, go to move. Okay, so it's actually kind of small. So we're going to end up going bigger than 4 or bigger than 3. Let's go up to, nope, still needs to go bigger. Okay, so we actually want to go to 4 on this to get it the same size. Okay, cool. So this is the one, we're going to delete this. This is the one we're actually working with. We go to 4 here. So 4, 4, 12. So we got that. Now what we're going to do is we are going to copy it and paste it. And this one, we're going to go down to 2. There we go. And so now we've got that and that. So we've got one cylinder that's on the outside, one cylinder on the inside. And we're going to select both of them and kind of just move them into place where we want them. And then we're going to shift space and go to rotate. And we want this one to go up high. I'm not going to, I think we just want to do that. Move. And go up a little bit more. And we can be on the, it can merge in with this, that's fine, but we don't want it to go over this because this is where the carbon is going to sit on top of here. So it can come out that part of it, that's fine. What we need to do though is this inner one needs to completely pierce the thing. So I think we're going to have to rotate it a little bit this way. Yep, not the whole thing. No, just these two things. Rotate this way a little bit. And down a little bit. And then I always hit the wrong button for move. Getting better though. Okay. And then the center one, I'm just going to do this to get it to go all the way through. Okay. So now we've got that there. Now I'm gonna look at the quad in front of me, which I'm not actually pointing a camera at myself, so I can't show you that. But I am just kind of looking at where my ELRS sits on here, and then I'm going to make some guides. So what we're gonna do for this is we're gonna go to unselect everything, add mesh, cube. Now the cube one is going to be a lot easier to work with because we don't need to worry about tessellating it or adding more vertices. We're just going to start moving it and scaling it. So we're going to move this up here and we're going to scale it this way quite a bit. So we want it to be just a little bit bigger than the hole there. Yeah, that's fine. And then move this into place. And I think that's going to be fine for the top. It does not need to go, it needs to go out about half of this. So I'm going to scale Y. And we want it to go in there, but not go through. So that's fine. I think that's fine. And then we are going to go copy and paste it, move that down here. And this one we're going to go out this way and then create another one and go up. So we're going to scale it. Oops, no, we're still on that guy. We want cube. This one? No, that's that one. This one. Okay, not Z. We want Y. Let's go this way, and we're going to move it out a bit. Are we coming through? We're not coming through. Cool. Okay, and then going to copy and paste this one again. Go down here, kind of embed it in there. Go out this way. Scale this. Oops, we're still on that one. Why doesn't it select it up here too? That's kind of annoying. Here we go. And scale it down this way. And we're going to go scale it up. Nope, not that one. We want Z. Scale Z up. And then kind of move this into place here. Move it up here. Okay, so this is kind of how I want to print it. I want these to not be touching so it can slide in there, and it's kind of gonna kind of be held in. I think this can actually go like way in here towards that, and that means this one doesn't need to be. Okay, it does select it down there. That's cool. That one doesn't need to be so wide. Okay, that looks good to me. It's kind of ugly, but I'm okay with it being ugly as long as it's functional. Nobody's going to care. So now that we have all these geometric pieces kind of in place, now we need to actually do the Boolean and like put them together into one piece because they're all separate meshes right now, and you can't really 3D print separate meshes like this. You'd have to do a separate file for each one, and that would be a pain in the butt. So we're going to select this one first, and we're going to cut a hole the size of this little cylinder. So all we do is we go to modifiers, add, generate, Boolean, and we are going to add the first cylinder in. So that's weird. Okay. So cylinder. And that should have cut a hole there. So if I hide this one, yep, there we go. So then we're going to apply. And then next, now we don't, let's see. So now we need to actually cut the hole in this as well. So generate Boolean, and we're going to use cylinder. And if we hide the cylinder now, yep, there's a hole all the way. Is there a hole all the way through? Yes, there is. Okay, cool. So we've got that done and apply. So now this cylinder is not really, the first cylinder is not really needed anymore. Second cylinder now has some extra pieces we need to cut out of it. So cylinder. This one we can just delete. We don't need this anymore. And then this one, we are going to do it again. Generate Boolean, but this time we're going to use the pigtail and hit apply. And what that did now, as you can see, it cut this cylinder up so that it is, I might have made a mistake there. I think this needed to be rotated. Let's hit Control Z a few times. Okay, did I do it enough times? Cylinder, yeah. I don't think I have enough undos to go all the way back. Yeah, that's fine. So what we're gonna do is select these two. So what I noticed is that this is now coming out directly into that. So I think I need to move this over and possibly rotate it in a little bit. So and then we're going to move it back this way just a tiny bit. So what we're trying to do is keep this out of the way of the standoff. And that should be fine. Maybe we move it just a tiny bit in and this way. Okay, I think that's good. That's better. Okay, so now let's try that again. So I think this one already has a hole in this, but we're going to cut the hole in this one again. Boolean cylinder, apply. Okay, and now if I hide this, yep, that's there. Okay, now we're going to do this one, add modifier, generate Boolean. We're going to select the big pigtail, hit apply. And the reason we do that now is so we can go to edit mode. We're going to select one of these, a couple of these vertices over here. We want to make sure we don't select anything on the other side. Ah, that's bad. I wish that wasn't there. Okay, let's undo that. Okay. Let's go to the cylinder. And just extend it in there a bit. Oh, now it's cutting out over there. It's fine. It can be out a little bit. Okay. Now go back to modifiers. Apply, that's fine. And then edit mode, we're going to select just a couple vertices here. And then we're going to grow that selection a bunch of times, and it'll only select them on this side. It won't select any on this side because they're not attached anymore. Select more, select more, select. And you have to do this a bunch of times. Oh no, it's going to the other side. Crap. Somehow they're still connected. Why is it still connected? That's weird. Thought I hit the apply button. Did it not actually cut it all the way? Oh, they're connected still. That's weird. Huh. Okay, so it doesn't like how I'm doing it for some reason. And we might cut some of this out because I'm just playing with it to get a slightly better angle. Oh, is that hole already still there? Okay, now it's not. Okay. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. We're going to try these operations again. Hopefully it doesn't freak out like it did a minute ago. Okay, so this one, I think what we want to do is do this one first. Because does it already have the hole? I think it already has the hole for that. So if I do move on this one, yeah, I've already cut that hole. So we're just going to do this one. Generate Boolean with the big thing, and then apply. I think it might have been because I cut the hole in the center first. I think that might have been why it was being weird. Okay, so now we go to edit mode. If we just select a couple vertices, go to this angle, so I know I'm only selecting on this side. Then select more. We just need to do some more on that. There we go. Now all those ones look like they're selected. And just to be safe, I'm just going to do it a couple more times. Select more, select more, make sure it's not on the other side. Good. And then we just hit delete vertices. And for some reason, it always leaves a couple extra vertices there. I'm not sure why it does that. But try to get an angle where you're not going to get anything on that side. Check. Okay, good. Delete vertices. There we go. Now, I think the problem was I cut this hole in this part first and then tried to use this to cut this one. So I needed to make sure I got my order operations right. This time we got that done. Now we just need to select this part. Did I collapse that? I did collapse that. Cool. Okay. So we're going to do this one. We are going to generate another Boolean. We're going to use the original cylinder, I believe. And if I did it right, that means if I hide this one, nope, it's not there. Okay. Why is it not an option? Oh, because I'm on cylinder 001 still. What? There we go. That was strange. I don't know what I did there. Okay, so we're going to go back down here to modifiers, generate Boolean. We're going to use this cylinder and just hit apply. And then when I hide that cylinder, yay, we got a hole. We're good. We got that in place. Now we're going to do the same thing, but we need to union this with this and then union those. And then we should be all set to go. And this will be quite ugly, but hopefully it'll work. I'm just hoping that hole back here is big enough. Yeah, it looks like it will be. We'll see. If not, I'll just save this now. And we're just going to do that one. Save. Okay. And then we do generate Boolean. And we're going to union instead of difference. We're going to use this cylinder. And so that just added that on. So now we can hide this cylinder right here. And then we're going to just do that again with all the boxes. And you probably don't need to hit apply over here every time. I just do it because it makes sense in my brain to do it that way. Union. Apply. Now we can hide first cube. And then we're going to go still down here, generate Boolean, and we're going to do union with the next cube and apply. And then generate Boolean union with cube, that one, and apply. And now if I hide all my cubes and my light, we can hide everything. So this is now one object. And if we select that, I don't believe we need to delete the other ones. I think we can just select this and export it. File, export, STL. And we're going to go to downloads where I keep all this stuff. I'm going to do this to we got 2 tube, and then I'm going to put LRS on the end, export. Okay, so that should have exported. We're going to open. Okay, that's the original one. Let's try to open up. Well, Cura already finished. So opening. So we go here. We're going to drag this over. Boop. Oh, it didn't. It exported all the stuff. So we're going to have to delete those first. Okay. Good to know. Delete. Okay. So we go back to Blender. And we're going to have to make all of these, or let's hide this. Make the cylinder, other cylinder, cube, all these things visible. Select them all, delete. And then unhide that. Now export file, export STL, and we're going to do this one, export. Okay, so it should have just overwritten. Let's go back to Cura, drop this in, and look at that, it's perfect. Got my high antenna holder, it's got this down here, and it's got the box for the ELRS. So now let's slice this. Preview. Looks good to me. Should only take an hour to print. I think I'm happy with that. So I'll go ahead and print this out, and then I still haven't actually received my new 2 antenna Walksnail VTX, so it'll have to wait to put it in there. I do have the old original Walksnail one, but it doesn't really, like, I don't want to put it in there only to have to take it out when the new one gets here, and the old one doesn't have the cool 20 millimeter screws holes in the screw spacing in the bottom like the new one does. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this out. Maybe I'll throw some B-roll of that in here. But anyways, that's pretty much how I do some simple stuff. I can do some of this kind of stuff in Fusion, but I find that like the booleans in Fusion crash when your model's this complex a lot, so it's a lot harder to get it to work properly. I don't know, but for some reason doing stuff like this is easier for me in Blender when I have to actually move vertices around and stuff. But anyways, that's the file. Hopefully you learned something from that. Thanks. Okay, so this is the original piece that came with it. As you can see, that hole there, the ILRS doesn't have anything to hold it, so it can rotate. And it only has this one antenna tube. And this one is the one that I just made. And as you can see, this is the original hole. This is the new tube that I just made for it. Okay, so the antenna sits quite a bit higher, so when it's in flight, it should be just about the level with the top of the battery. It's not going to be the best. Like, ideally, this would be even higher if we wanted to get it, but I kind of had to do that because the antenna wire, I don't know if you can see it in here, it's coming in at a bit of an angle, and I didn't want to go too tight, so I kind of pushed it down a little bit. But there is going to be much better than down here, because that's going to be, no matter where, you'd have to be above the quad to get good video signal that way. So that's pretty much what I got, and I've got the ELRS. As I can see, I probably wanted to go out a little bit further on this than I did. It's kind of, even the tiny little one that I have here is kind of pushing it out a bit, so I should have pulled this out. And I think I'll make this available on Thingiverse or printables, probably both. But I'm going to need to extend this out like a millimeter or two to make it compatible with other ELRS antennas. Right now, it's only kind of sort of compatible, and it probably only really works with the one I have. So anyways, that's how you do that and get your Parat shorty to have 2 antenna holes. I'm excited to actually get this the new VTX that has a second antenna. And yeah, maybe I'll do some kind of video about that. Who knows? Anyways, peace.